Our next guest really doesn't need much introduction, but it is our wonderful mayor, Victoria Woodards. And I would say that Victoria just gets gleamy in her eyes when we talk about putting children and youth at the center. And she has been staunch supporter since this has become sort of a thing. But what is so amazing about Victoria, she's actually actioning it. She has built a mayor's youth council, and they gather and she actually listens to them. We have one of them going to come up with Victoria today. Her name is Heaven, to share a little bit about a project she's working on. So let's give a warm welcome to our mayor.
Well, good afternoon or good morning to everyone. It is an honor to be here. I made Heaven come up on stage with me. I don't know, you all see me probably in public a lot, but it's really nice when you can come up on stage with somebody, because Heaven, I'll be honest with you, as many times as I do this, I still get really nervous talking in front of people. You all don't believe that, but it is really true. I still get that little thing in the middle of my stomach, so being able to hold your hand and walk up with me this morning made me feel better. She's probably like, I wanted to come up on my own with my own spotlight, but thanks, Mayor, for dragging me along. So Heaven, thank you. I'm going to talk for just a minute, and then Heaven's going to say a few words, but we're here together today. And the reason I've always been supportive is because I'm a little girl who grew up in Tacoma. I am a young person who looked for opportunities and things to do as a young person in this community. And I found those things existed for me. And I always say as mayor, I want every young person who looks like Heaven to be able to have that same opportunity. As good as Tacoma was to me, I want to make sure that we are paying back, that I'm paying back, but that everyone is paying back the goodness that came to me, to other young people like Heaven. When as I was running for mayor, and some of you may have heard this story before, but I ran into a young person who said, how come young people don't get to be a part of the conversation? And I was like, well, they do. She said, yeah, but most of the time it's just people who are 18 and over. Those aren't young people in their mind. I'm thinking, if you don't think 18 is a young person, certainly I don't want to tell you how old I am, because I still think I'm a young person regardless. But my age would not say that at all. But I said, you know, that's a really good point. And I said, what would you like to see? And she goes, I'd like to see an opportunity where young people of all ages can engage and give their thoughts and dreams and hope for our city. And I said, well, then you know what? I'm going to decide to put a youth commission together. And when I get elected, we're going to have a youth commission, and no matter how old you are, you're going to be able to be a part of that. So in my first year as mayor, we decided we have a youth commission. It's going to be 15 to 18 young people, and they're going to help work with us around policy and decisions about the city. And many of you have heard me say this before, but I'll say it every time. I do not believe, do not subscribe to, will not support the idea that young people are our future. I don't believe that. And I know that sounds a little strange. Why do I say that? Like, Mayor, you don't believe they're our future? No. I believe that young people are our present. They are here. They are now. And we can't wait to the future to engage them. We are building and planning for a world, and we can't build and plan that city, that county, this world without their input. They don't need us to tell them what kind of world they want. They need to know that we're open and we're listening and we're ready to hear from them and actually implement the things that they say that they want. And to design the kind of city and the kind of county and the kind of space and the kind of opportunities that they want to see, because they're going to inherit it. And we need to give them something that they want. You know, have you ever gotten a gift from somebody and it's like, you open the gift and it's like, it's really nice, but if you'd have asked me, you probably could have saved your money, spent half of it, and got me something I really, really want. We have that same opportunity with our young people. Not to spin our wheels spending hours and days and years deciding what they want, but actually providing opportunities for them to engage and tell us. And that's why we started the Mayor's Youth Commission. We put it out. We thought we'd get 15 to 18 kids to apply. Over 100 young people applied. And at that point, my thing was, we're not going to eliminate anyone. If there are over 100 young people in this community who want to have a say-so in this community, then we're going to take them all. They organize themselves. They put their own structure together. They picked their own committees, their own project. And I show up whenever they call to answer any questions and provide any support I can. I tell young people all the time, as the mayor of this city, when I introduce myself and I say, do you know what a mayor is? And some say yes, some say no. But when they say yes, they go, yes. I go, do you know who I work for? And they're like, no, I work for you. I work for every young person in this community. So what I do, it is important to hear their voices. It's important for all of us to hear their voices. And speaking of hearing their voices, we have an opportunity this morning to hear from one of those amazing young people in Heaven, who is a senior at SAMI. And I had an opportunity, she's part of the Mayor's Youth Commission. She joined last year. But she's going to tell you about some of her own experiences in the project that she's working on. And I guarantee you, by the time she's through, you will understand why I say, and I know all of you in this room, as we say, I'm preaching to the choir. You all are here because you already get it. But this is why we need to engage young people. This is why we need to hear from them, because they can plan a better future for themselves than we could ever plan. Heaven, go right ahead.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. I want to thank Green Trek and specifically Ms. Farron Johnson and Ms. Jessica Winston for the opportunity. For today, I'll be speaking on Project Teens Across Tacoma, which Ms. Farron brought up previously. But I'm really excited to share. It's an important project. But before I begin, I also want to take a time to honor my other peers who are here today. I'm the only one on the stage right now, but that doesn't mean I represent the entire group. So if they could just stand up, and if you could give them a round of applause as well. Woo! They're what keep the project moving forward. I don't do it alone. We work together, and they've been able to make it happen. And so Project Teens Across Tacoma is a youth-led initiative to support youth who are experiencing need in housing insecurity. And it started when Isha Hussein and I, who's a Project TAT leader, we were elected chairs for the Justice and Safety Committee of NYCT. And the idea was born there. And initially, when we were developing the idea, we had a focus on youth homelessness. But through our development process, we realized how much need for mental health resources, basic necessities, just mental health corners there was in our schools. So it went even beyond just youth homelessness. And so it pushed us to expand our vision. And so, though it started through the Mayor's Youth Commission of Tacoma, it has been sustained by the generous support of Seeds of Peace, who has connected us with funding and partnership opportunities that have been able to connect us with the Institute for Black Justice, Rising Girls, and Alma Mater, opportunities that came through Seeds of Peace and have been able to fund mental health corners at my school, for example, at SAMI. We've been able to do drives and care kits and give them out to our community. An important part of what we do in Project Teens Across Tacoma is engaging youth to serve their community. And it's with the goal of building something that is generational, that not only will impact us, but will continue after us. And it's one of the visions that we had for the project, to create something that goes beyond us. And engaging students in serving their community is something that creates an impact for everyone. So if you're here in this room today and you hold a position with an organization or institution, I really encourage you to listen to the youth, to listen to their ideas. I'm here as a product of adults who are willing to invest mentorship, funding, opportunities. That is why I'm here today. I want to just honor again Ms. Farron Johnson. What a wonderful human being. If we can just give a round of applause real quick for Farron Johnson. I am a proud daughter of immigrants. I will be a soon to be a first generation high school graduate. And Ms. Farron has been an adult in my life that has connected me to opportunities that I may not have gotten access to before. And so if you're an adult in a space where you're able to provide mentorship, funding, or opportunities to the youth around you, I really encourage you to do it because it literally changes lives. And do it with the goal of building something that will last generations. Because building something that lasts is equally as important as giving youth the agency to take that first step. And I was able to have that agency to take that first step through opportunities, through opportunity access. And so I just really encourage you to do that. You are surrounded by creative youth, by creative young people that can bring new ideas, that can drive your institution and your organization. And it's right at the palm of your hand. You have to be that stretched out hand to the youth around you. So thank you for having me here again. I am a proud representative of Project Teens Across Tacoma. I'm always willing to speak more about it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Amazing. Amazing, honey. Amazing. So well deserved. If I were in church right now, I'd say amen and we would go home. Nothing else needs to be said, but nothing else needs to be said, but I will say something as I close. And I too want to really express my appreciation to Green Trike for putting on the symposium every year, for gathering us to dream and include our youth and think about what it means to be a community, to be the best place for young people to grow up. To be a place where when a parent gets a job in Tacoma, they're not just excited about the job, but they're excited about the opportunities for their young people or for their children in this community. And that's more than just a dream. It takes more than just saying we want to be that place. It takes hard work. And I know that most of you in this room today are here because you've been doing and want to continue to do the hard work. But I really want us to think about in this next year of taking that hard work to another level, of really not just saying we want to be the best place, but of really actually realizing so that when we talk to young people, that they say, this is the best place, instead of saying, I can't wait to go to college and get out of here. We want young people to grow up here and think that I want to, even if I decide to go away to school, that I want to come back and I want to have a family and I want to raise my family in this community because this is the best community. But that takes all of us in this room, and it even takes some of us who are not in this room. So often we think that the future of our young people lies in the hands of just our education system, that it's just really the public schools' job to do this. Or there's a role for some nonprofits to play, or there's a role for government to play. When the reality is, there's a role for all of us to play together. Whether you are a nonprofit, or whether you are a corporation or a small business, or whether you are just an individual, or whether you are engaged in the education system or in local government, whatever your role is, wherever you are, whatever you do, we all have a responsibility and an opportunity to say to young people, like Heaven, not just with our mouths, but with what we do, we want this to be your best place to live. How can we do that? And what can we do to make you feel like that? And then not just get the ideas from them, but actually implement them. And so I'm going to challenge us over the next year. Let's not just talk about being that place, but let's all of us make a commitment to do just one thing, whether that's wherever you are, one thing that you're going to do differently this year to make young people feel and know that this is their community. For me, I make sure no matter where I go, and it's not because I love to tell people I'm the mayor, because I would prefer that nobody knows sometimes, especially on a Saturday when I got my baseball cap on and I'm just trying to go grocery shopping. But I always make sure that if I'm talking to a young person or I see a young person who's in my vicinity, that I stop, that I introduce myself, and that I have a conversation with them, because I want them to know that they matter, that their opinions, that their thoughts, that their ideas matter. And so that's my commitment. I'm going to continue to do that, but I'm also going to make another commitment that somehow between now and next year, you're going to see something different from elected officials in this county on this stage. And I'm going to work to lead that. Not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to work with Tanya, and hopefully next year we'll be standing here, and it won't just be me here by myself, but that we're all going to make a commitment to do something different and better. Because as we just heard from Heaven, if we could entrust all of this to them, we'd be in better hands than it is in most of our hands. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to call it like I see it. These young people are absolutely amazing. They can only change the world if we move out of the way and let them. And if we support them as they're doing it and not stand back and wait for them to fail or wish them to fail, that we walk alongside them, behind them, even in front of them sometimes. But I don't believe empowering people. I believe they have their own power. We just have to get out of the way so they can take it. So thank you all so much for allowing me to be here this morning. Let's show up next year and let's make sure that we've made even bigger strides to make sure that Pierce County, that the city of Tacoma is the best place for a young person to grow up. Thank you.